Hey guys, it is Spooky Noodles, and I think I'm coming down with something, so I apologize for all the sniffles. But I had a book haul recently, and I wanted to do it in two parts, but it looks like it's gonna be a three-parter. So yeah, this is the December slash Salvation Army book haul. Some of these books I got in December, some of these books I got at the Salvation Army just recently. So yeah. But this will be like the first book haul of January technically, so, yeah. So let me start with the books that I got from Salvation Army. And I got one of my favorite books of all time, The Giver, by Lois Lowry. I think that's how you say his name. I read this in school and I just enjoyed it, and this is a better copy than the one I own, so I went ahead and grabbed it. This one is about this boy who is chosen to be the giver, not the giver, but the guy who holds all the knowledge, and he is given the knowledge to the last person who had to hold all this knowledge. And basically, you become a hermit, and you don't get to socialize with anybody. So it's supposed to be it's an honorable thing to be given this thing, and yeah. Like, this kid's life was perfect and stuff, but, yeah, unfortunately, things go bad. Being the holder of all this knowledge is not a good thing, so, yeah, that's The Giver. Next, I got a book I've never heard of before, but it's science fiction, so I'm sorry about this being a horror channel and showing science fiction, but Path of the Fury by David Weber. Now this one looks really cool. It's about, I don't know what it's about. If you want to look it up, look it up. I just bought it for the cover, so I don't know what it's about, but I'm looking forward to reading it one day. It's going right on my science fiction shelf for books I want to get to, so yeah. Next, we have Ramsey Campbell, Silent Children. I can't believe I found a Ramsey Campbell book at Salvation Army, but I did. And this book is about this guy who goes and protects children by murdering them. I know it makes no sense, but yeah, it sounded interesting, and I can't wait to give it a read. It kind of makes me feel like it's about, like, kind of like, it resembles Albert Fish's Killings a little bit. And if you don't know who Albert Fish is, look him up. He's like the worst serial killer who ever existed. So yeah. I could read the back for you guys, but this is a pretty big haul, so I'm gonna go pretty quickly. So next is Alright, so sorry about that, guys. I needed to help my mom real quick. So Night of Reunion by Michael Allegretto. I might be saying his name wrong, but I just love that cover with the big shadow with the knife in its hand chasing this woman and her kid around. It just looks really cool to me. I just ran up a flight of stairs, so I apologize. I'm out of breath a little bit. But basically this is about Alex's, like, the first wife of Alex's was a maniac who slaughtered Alex's first wife and child, and now she is after his current wife and child. So very interesting novel. Kind of reminds me of Misery a little bit. It says suspense on it, but it kind of sounds like a horror book, and it looks like a horror book, so I'm just gonna say it's a horror book. Next, we have such a really cool find. I thought this is the coolest find of the bunch, but it's a Tor classic, and that's Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. Look at that cover, guys, if you can see it. It is so good, and it's in perfect condition. It doesn't look like it's ever been read. This is probably the version I'm gonna read. It just looks so good. The other Frankenstein books that I have aren't that great, and I have duplicates, so I might give them away. But this one looks very cool. I love the cover of the guy who apparently is Frankenstein. They did a really good job with this cover, and I like it a lot. So I'm gonna read that soon. These are all the books I found at Salvation Army, by the way. Next is Powell Anderson, and this one is Starfarers. I think that's how you say it. I bought this purely because of the name, Powell Anderson. I have another science fiction book by him with short stories by him, and I didn't know he wrote something this thick, so I'm definitely gonna give it a read someday. I also like the cover a lot. I love science fiction covers. There's a few science fiction books there, but they were like part of like this huge series, and I'm not about to go and dive into a new series anytime soon, so I didn't get them. But yeah, that's Powell Anderson. The next two are horrors, I believe. This one's by Fawcett, and that is Eric Van Lusbader, and it is Sirens. Yeah. You can't see this cover very well, but you can't see any of these covers very well, so I apologize. But I don't know what this one is about. It's about a woman who wins an Oscar for her role for a controversial terror film, and then what happens to in that horror film happens to her in real life. So that's what it's about. Very looking forward to this one. It sounds right up my alley. Then the last but not least one in the Salvation book haul is The Project God by V.M. Thompson. I don't know what this is about, honestly. I just bought it because it has zebra horror on the back, or on the spine. And I didn't know this was a horror book at all. I just saw Project God and immediately thought science fiction, and I picked it up and saw zebra horror before I was even going to read anything about it, so yeah, I'm excited about it. But I'm guessing this is about a project that scientists do, and they create something terrible. So we'll see. That's Project God. And that is all of the books I got at the Salvation Army. Next we got a few books I ordered online. And first we're gonna go with Ronald Kelly's Pitfall. Now this is a book I've been looking for a while, and then I took a risk and bought it online, and I wasn't, like, the book looks like it's in great condition, but my dog stepped on the package, and I believe she, like, bended it, so now it's all curvy. So she kind of broke it in a sense. But this one is about, trying to remember. I don't want to read the back, but I know what it's about. It's about what are they called? Okay, I gotta read the back real quick. They're like oh, it doesn't even say what they are on the back. They're like Tasmanian Devils, or Tasmanian Devils. I can't remember what they're called exactly, but I'd say the word wrong anyways. Tasmanian Devils. Sorry guys, I had to help my mom again. So I was talking about Pitfall. Tasmanian Devils, killer ones that are trying to kill people. Very excited to read this book one day. I like Ronald Kelly a lot. His writing is amazing, so, you know. Alright, next, we have a book that my friend talked about. My friend is very knowledgeable with books. You might know him. I keep calling him my friend, but he probably doesn't see me as a friend, but that's besides the point. My friend Edward Lorne said that this is a good book, so I picked it up. Well, he actually said his other book, I think, was the good one. I can't remember. I think you can't go wrong with Joe R. Lansdale, but I think it was A Fine Dark Line that he was talking about. That was a good book, but I decided to get The Bottoms. Not because it's better, but it has the theme that I'm very interested in. So this is about this kid these kids in East Texas who find a dead black woman that savagely mutilated and left to die at the bottoms of Sabine River. The small town instantly charged with tension. When a second body turns up, this time a white woman, there is little Harry can do to stop the clan neighbors from lynching an innocent black man. So this is like in the same vein as Harper Lee's classic To Kill a Mockingbird, and I love that book. Some of the books that made me who I am today was one of them was To Kill a Mockingbird. It really opened my eyes a lot, and it made me feel, bad for, the past, and this book seems like it might do the same thing to me. It will make me feel a lot of emotions, and it's a coming of age story at the same time, I believe, so I'm looking very forward to this one. It's not that big. I think I picked the shorter one of the bunch because I think A Fine Dark Line is a little longer. But The Bottoms, I hear so many great things about. And if I like this one, I'm going to read The Fine Dark Line by him. And he has another one, I think, called The Drive-In. So these are all books by Joe R. Lansdale I want to get to. If I like his writing in this book, I'm definitely going to check out more of his stuff. There's not much else I can say other than I'm looking very forward to reading this book. And the font is perfect. I've never seen perfect font before. I think it's like probably the same font everyone uses, but it looks perfect to me. Size of the book is really nice. This is a nice book. Winner of the Ed Carr Award too, so that's pretty neat. That's a cool cover too. I just can't wait to get into this book, guys. It says vintage crime, but it could be a little bit of like have horror elements to it, but we'll see. And then last but definitely not least, because this is a book I've been looking forward to reading for some time now, and that is Within the Woods by Tony Urban, I believe. Yeah, Tony Urban. This is a coming of age story about 4 kids that this one kid's brother vanishes, and things get weird. Something is changing their neighbors, infecting their families. Something is coming for them, and yeah, it's just a coming of age story of 4 people who are trying to find out what's going on in their town. I'm looking very forward to this book. Just like The Bottoms by Joe R. Lansdale, this is a coming of age novel, I believe. And I mean, there's just so many good things about these books I'm getting lately. I can't wait to read them all. It's hard because choosing the next book to read is like always a chore because I have so many good books to read. Yeah, Within the Woods by Tony Urban is a horror novel that I really want to check out. That cover is sweet if you can see it. Joe R. Lansdale's Bottoms was really sweet, and then of course Ronald Kelly. You can't go wrong with Ronald Kelly, honestly. I read a little bit of Father's Little Helper, my bad, and I liked it a lot. I just put it down because I was not in the mood for Christmas stories. It's a Christmas horror story, don't get me wrong, but I just wasn't in the mood to finish it. Not anything to knock the book, I just didn't feel like reading the rest of it. Yeah, these 3 books right here, if I can hold them up correctly, because they're all different sizes, so it's a little hard. But you got The Bottoms, The Woods, Within the Woods, and Pitfall by Ronald Kelly. Those are the books I bought in December that are just now getting to me. So hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys have a great day and a spooky night, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.
Now I am become death.